I'm fixing to tell you a little bit of something about what happened to me when I was in the Navy. I missed duty one day. I was stationed in the USS Samuel Gompers. It was in Alameda Naval Air Station. And so since I missed duty, they gave me a urinalysis, and it came up positive for an illegal drug. So they confined me to the ship for 90 days, and they were going to give me a discharge, a general discharge under honorable conditions. And they said that I would have to spend the 90 days in the brig, or I would have to do manual labor. And the labor that they had me doing was in the hull of the ship, grinding and sanding the coatings on the bottom of the hull of the ship that I was on, the Gompers, without any breathing apparatus or anything. I didn't have any mask on or nothing. They had me doing it 7 days a week for 90 days, and then they discharged me with a general discharge under honorable conditions. I got my DD-214 in my wallet to show that I was on that ship. They tell me that I'm at end-stage COPD, but I think that it's worse than that because I did some research. I feel terrible. I just don't feel very well, and I know that it can't be just regular COPD. I don't know if you know about the Gompers, that everything in the Gompers, the berthing areas, the mess halls, all the storage compartments, the hull of the ship, everything was coated with asbestos. And I didn't know that. They knew it, and they tried to use me to help abate the asbestos. And I didn't realize that 20 years later that I would be going through what I'm going through right now. And I thought it was just because I used to smoke cigarettes, but I quit smoking cigarettes years ago. But my lung condition just keeps getting worse and worse. And I never talked to my doctors because I didn't think that it was a problem, and until somebody said, man, you probably got asbestosis or mesothelioma from being on that ship. A doctor told me 15 years ago, he said, you're going to end up on oxygen before it's all said and done. And I wasn't even smoking cigarettes or nothing. And I thought he was crazy. And he was right. At first they call it emphysema and bronchitis. I was going to the VA, but the VA stopped treating me because I wasn't in the service for 24 consecutive months because I got busted on the piss test because I had drugs in my system. So then they started calling it Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease, but I didn't realize that probably a lot of it came from the fact that I was on the Samuel Gompers. And I wasn't just on the ship. They punished me by having me doing hard labor in the bottom of the ship, grinding and sanding and stuff like that without any respirators, any mask or anything. I was just in the dust trying to grind this stuff off the hull of the ship and recoat it with something else that didn't have asbestos in it. That's what they had me doing as punishment for 90 days before they discharged me with a general discharge under honorable conditions. And then after about 15, 16 years or so, I started getting really, really bad breathing problems. For some reason, the VA was treating me for 20 years straight. And then all of a sudden, an eligibility worker came in there and said, well, Mr. Hale, you have to have 24 consecutive months of service before the VA can give you service. And then they cut me off. So now I'm on Medi-Cal here in California, and I'm trying to live on $931 a month, and I can't do it. I'm struggling. I've been in the hospital in the ER with exacerbations. I can't even count them on both hands as many times as I've been in the hospital because of this. It was about 1 year ago, the pulmonologist at UC Davis Medical Center here in Sacramento, she said, yeah, you have about 6 months to live. She shouldn't have never told me that. I mean, that was so depressing. It was, and I did road trips. Flew on a helicopter over to San Francisco Bay. I started doing stuff that I always wanted to do because I thought I was going to die soon, but I'm still here. My brother was in a ship that also had asbestos in it, and he already passed away. He had asbestosis also. They told me my lungs are very scarred. My lungs do not look good. It hurts to breathe. They're giving me these narcos, and I'm afraid to take them because I don't want to get hooked on opioids, so I just take a leave and ibuprofen and stuff like that, and I just leave the narcos just sitting there. I don't take them. Hydrocodone, I'm not going to take it because my family has a history of predisposition for alcoholism and addiction. My dad is on fentanyl patches right now for his back pain, and he can't seem to get off of those patches.